The midday sun beat down mercilessly as Deadshot and Blackjack Mallory ambled single file down the narrow, snaking canyon trail. Naught but the steady clop of hooves on hard-packed dirt and the occasional caw of a hawk circling overhead pierced the silence. Deadshot, with the eyes of a hawk himself, surveyed the rugged landscape for signs of villainy. These parts were a known haven for outlaws and ne'er-do-wells. His hand, weather-beaten and sure, rested on the smooth walnut grip of his trusty six-shooter, poised for sudden action. Ahead, Mallory hummed a merry tune, unperturbed by the lurking dangers. He'd stop now and again, inspecting the wild flowers that dared to bloom amidst the rocks, adorning his well-worn hat with their colors. Deadshot, ever vigilant, kept his reservations to himself. Despite their differing dispositions, their combined strengths might just see them through to the hidden fortune they sought. As they rounded a bend, the path widened into a plateau, strewn with boulders and twisted shrubs, a perfect haven for ambush. Deadshot reined in beside Mallory, his voice low and urgent. "Eyes wide, partner. This stretch smells of trouble." Mallory's grin vanished, replaced by a steely resolve. "Fear not, Deadshot. No scoundrel shall catch us unawares." Their advance was cautious, hands flirting with their weapons. Yet the plateau remained still, save for the hawks wheeling above. Just as Deadshot's guard began to wane, hellfire erupted. Gunshots shattered the stillness, bullets dancing around Deadshot's horse. Out leaped a ragtag band of scoundrels, guns blazing. Deadshot's horse bucked wildly, but he held fast, drawing his Colts with the speed of a striking viper. Mallory, too, readied his weapon, gripping his steed's reins tightly. "Hold there!" bellowed the brigand's leader. "You'll not pass without rendering the toll!" His men formed a barricade, rifles at the ready. Deadshot's eyes narrowed, his guns unwavering. "Steady, Mallory," he murmured. "Wait for my lead." Mallory, quick-witted as ever, flung a sack of coins before the bandits. "Perhaps this'll suffice for your toll, gentlemen," his grin returned, albeit briefly. The bandits, eyes alight with avarice, faltered at the sight of the coins. In that fleeting moment, Deadshot struck, felling two flankers with unerring accuracy. Chaos reigned as the remaining outlaws sought cover, exchanging gunfire with Deadshot and Mallory. "We have the upper hand!" Mallory shouted, felling another misguided soul. As Deadshot contemplated a strategic withdrawal, a resonant voice boomed from the ridge. "Cease your villainy, ye curs!" Atop the ridge stood Sheriff Elias Conway, imposing and resolute, a Winchester rifle in hand. His badge shone like a beacon of justice. "In the name of the law, surrender!" The brigands, struck by the sheriff's sudden arrival, hesitated. Conway descended, his shotgun now primed for action. The bandits, torn between the lawman and the outlaws, wavered in their resolve. Sheriff Conway, a safe distance away, issued his command once more. "Lay down your arms, slowly now. You stand accused of robbery and assault and shall be treated accordingly." Deadshot, begrudgingly holstering his guns, scoffed at the sheriff's formalities. "No need for legal prattle, Sheriff. We had the situation in hand." Conway, undeterred by Deadshot's jibe, continued his solemn recitation of the law, only directing his men once he deemed them sufficiently informed. As Conway's attention wavered, the largest bandit drew a concealed derringer. "Sheriff! Behind ye!" Deadshot's warning came just as Mallory, with a flick of his wrist, blinded the outlaws with a cloud of dust. In one fluid motion, Deadshot felled the bandit leader with a pinpoint shot. Conway, reacting instinctively, dispatched another with his shotgun. The final bandit, seeking escape, was struck down by Deadshot, his cries silenced by a merciful bullet. "Enough!" Conway bellowed, his shotgun raised skyward. "The violence ends now!" Deadshot, unfazed, calmly reholstered his revolver, while Conway surveyed the aftermath, his mustache twitching with irritation, yet acknowledging Mallory's ingenuity in the skirmish. Conway lamented the bureaucratic aftermath awaiting him, his gaze landing on Deadshot. "Your ways, sir, walk a fine line between aid and hindrance. You complicate a lawman's duty." Deadshot met Conway's stare, a humorless smile playing on his lips. "We each have our methods, Sheriff. Our goal was one and the same, to rid this trail of vermin." Conway, recognizing a semblance of shared purpose despite their stark differences, conceded. "Perhaps so, but next time, allow me the first shot." With that, Conway busied himself with the grisly task of justice, oblivious to Mallory's discreet departure. Deadshot, mounting his steed, addressed the sheriff. "As much as I'd relish watching you tackle paperwork, duty calls elsewhere. Your timely intervention was appreciated nonetheless." Conway eyed Deadshot warily. "Our paths are bound to cross again. Stir not too much trouble in your wake." Deadshot, joining Mallory beyond the sheriff's reach, replied, "No promises, Sheriff," and they rode off, leaving Conway to ponder their uneasy alliance in these lawless lands. Conway, doffing his hat, returned to dispensing frontier justice, his belief in doing right unwavering.